You know what nightmares are fun? Dating nightmares, when they're not mine. Let's check some of them out. Our first story, am I overreacting that my boyfriend got another woman's number? Now immediately I'm already like, of course you're not overreacting. But we gotta read the story first, because you never know. I have been wrong before, and I don't like admitting when I'm wrong. This story came February 26th, 2026. Look how cute my sweater is. It's all beaded and it's from Hollister. And it's so cute. And the little things have little pink strings, but then my hair covers all the cute parts of my sweater. The dilemma. Am I overreacting that my 24 female boyfriend Jack, 26 male, got another woman's number when he went to the grocery store? For some background, Jack and I have been together on and off for nearly 6 years. We have a 2-year-old child together. We have been on and off because he has cheated on me multiple times on different occasions. We split after about 3 years because he cheated. I stupidly hooked up with him while we split and I ended up pregnant. Decided to try and work that out, got cheated on while I was pregnant, and then again after our child was about 2 months old. Anyways, I'm gonna breeze past the fact that you continued to stay with the cheater. I left him because he introduced our child to his side piece, who also knew about me. I stayed with family for a while and I ended up moving back in with him for the financial and physical help from him. He was angry when I left him and decided that if he refused to help me with the baby, I would have to come back. And I'm not proud to admit, but his plan worked. Now I've been back together with him roughly for about a year, and he's been doing better. Really, it's just bare minimum in a relationship, which for him is not cheating. He's a great father to our child. However, the other night, I woke up in the middle of the night and I had a gut feeling to check his phone, so I did. When I unlocked it, he had an unsaved number in his phone. I looked through the messages. They had begun messaging a few days before. There wasn't anything crazy in there, in my opinion, a little bit flirty, but not outright cheating. There were comments of the woman saying, "Oh my goodness, it's past my bedtime. You're keeping me up all night." And him responding with, "Don't go to sleep, stay up with me." And him teasing her about having a big forehead and having her send him a comparison photo of how many fingers big her forehead was. Okay, interesting. Now I'm curious how many fingers my forehead is. 3. Right? Oh yeah, 4 wouldn't fit.
That's what she said.
Although forehead, 4, shouldn't it be? Why is it called the forehead? Okay, I'm a 3 head. Good to know. Let me know how many, what am I doing on YouTube? You know what I mean? What am I doing on the internet? Let me know how many fingers your forehead is. But please, I'm genuinely curious. Editor, Marina, you also put it on the screen. How many fingers is your forehead? Shouldn't it be 4? Anyways. As I said, it was nothing crazy, but enough to know what this is the beginning of. I messaged the woman from my phone, which I will include a screenshot of. She basically said we exchanged numbers. He mentioned he had a child, but he didn't mention a girlfriend. And she said she had asked him if he was married, which he apparently said no to. We aren't married, but when he introduces me to other men, he introduces me as his wife. When I confronted him, he claimed he never claimed to be single and that he should be allowed to have female friends. He's upset and claims to be walking on eggshells around me. I'm upset and currently trying to get my own apartment. He's very upset that I am considering leaving. So Reddit, do you guys think I'm overreacting? We're gonna read the screenshot before I say anything else. I need to see what exactly was said from this other woman. All right, so she texted this lady, said, "Hey, sorry to text you so late. It's 3:46 a.m. I have a quick question. I seen your number in my boyfriend blank's phone and curious of what's going on. I'm almost positive he didn't mention having a girlfriend and a kid. I'd like to know before I confront him. Thank you." Smiley face. Imagine getting that random text at 3:46. Oh my God, she answered at 3:52 a.m. Girl, go to bed. The woman wrote back and said, hi, no worries at all. Being honest with you, he didn't. He did mention he had a kid, but not a girlfriend. I did ask him if he was married, but he said no. We exchanged numbers just on Monday, but nothing else has happened. We just texted, not in a flirty way, yesterday. Not sure if you can see the messages, but thanks for getting with me. I will definitely be keeping my distance. Then OP wrote back saying, thanks for getting back with me. I appreciate it. And she wrote, yeah, of course. Let me know if you need to know anything else. We love a girl's girl. Love it. Respectful. That was nice. Maybe you guys can be friends. Now, let's check out what the people of Reddit are saying so far, because as we know, they're always very honest. Someone wrote, he doesn't want to be with you. Oh, and you don't want to be with him. The only reason you're together at this point is the kid, and he's trying to control you so that he doesn't lose access to his kid. Sit down with him and make a plan for shared custody. Better than running away again. Make shared plans to go separate ways. But if he has a volatile temper, make sure you have someone with you. OP responded to this and said, I have taken him to court already last year. We have a set custody order. I just need to take him back to set up the child support. Next comment. You are not overreacting, but please know this. You will never be that man's wife. You are a placeholder and he thinks he has you stuck. Move on and have some dignity. Show your child that you have respect for yourself. Like I said, Reddit is always brutally honest. OP responded and said, he has proposed to me a few times. I have told him no each time and I let him know I have no desire to get a divorce. Girl, he's proposing to you, but he's also been cheating on you. So the proposal truly means nothing when he just keeps cheating on you. No offense, but we have our first update. It came 1 week later. We are now at March 5th. Small update, a few weeks ago, before all of this happened, I requested rodeo tickets from my job for Jack and I to go together, thinking that it would be a cute and fun date. I now don't want to go, and I thought about inviting a friend with me, but I decided to reach out to the woman from the grocery store, and I offered the tickets to her. Come on. She was happy and took them, and also let me know that she was sorry. And if I had any more questions to let her know, I feel good about that. Anyways, I have applied to an apartment and I'm waiting to hear back. I should be moving out by the end of this month, and the grocery store woman congratulated me for that. We met up in person so I could give her the tickets, and she was an angel. Does this mean you are moving on, girlfriend? I think it's time. We have a final update though, so we're gonna find out. Final update came 1 week later, March 12th. I reached out to the grocery store woman and I told her thank you for even talking to me and letting me know what's going on. I ended up also giving her tickets to a Lizzo concert that Jack and I were gonna go to together. We met up in person and I found out she lives in our apartment complex. Crazy. She told me that she was sorry and she told me to run away from Jack. Anyways, she was a very, very sweet angel. What if she's just doing all this so that you leave him so that she can be with him? I'm just being toxic. She's probably an angel. I'm being toxic. My mind goes to the worst. I've read a lot of Reddit stories. Over the last few weeks, I have been apartment hunting, trying to find a second chance apartment, and I found it. I found a 1-bedroom apartment that I will be able to afford, barely, but that's okay. I am moving out next Friday, March 20th, and I told Jack last night. He didn't understand why I'm doing this, which I don't really care about. I basically told him this isn't working. He said he loved me and he didn't want me to go. I told him, 1, you don't love me because look at how I've been treated. And 2, if you do love me and this is the way that you show love, I don't want it. I'm very excited for this change in my life. And apparently she wrote a letter to Jack and we have a picture of the letter. It's pouring rain again. That's great. And that dog needs to shut up out there. Oh, he's yelling back at me. All right. Oh my God. This feels so personal. A breakup letter? To what do I owe this pleasure? All right. So she wrote Jack fake name, obviously. I'm writing this before we've actually sat down and had this conversation, so I'm sorry if some of this ends up being repeated. I'm leaving. I found an apartment and I'm going to start over. This is something I need to do for myself. I can't keep sitting around patiently waiting for you to change. We both have things we need to work on. I need to come to terms with the fact that I deserve better in a relationship than what I have been given. And you need to work on yourself as well. You can't keep blaming your mother for the choices you make in your relationships or for your commitment issues. These are things only you have control over and only you can fix them. I'm done trying to fix them for you. I'm exhausted in this relationship. I'm tired of wondering when I will be the only woman in your life. Living that way isn't fair to me and I cannot keep doing it. I mean, I don't really get why you wrote a letter just to say it to him in person, but hey, in case he needs to read it back a few times. In my opinion, this is best case scenario. I think a fresh start is exactly what you both need. Go your separate ways, be the best parents you can be to your child, co-parent. Come on now. Is that even a relationship when someone just keeps cheating on you? It's like technically he's in an open relationship in his mind. Next story. Am I the a-hole? My girlfriend is angry that I call my friend by his real name. I'm confused. This story came March 4th, 2026. Everyone who knows my ex-boyfriend, 33 male, calls him either JT or by his last name. I, 29 male, was never among those people. He introduced himself to me by his first name, Jude, so that's what I have called him. 2 years ago, he and I broke up due to him getting a promotion that included a ton of traveling. I love him and I definitely didn't want him turning down an opportunity like that for me. We tried long distance and it just wasn't sustainable for us. I'm a homebody through and through and I like having my person home with me too. I have been dating my current girlfriend, 29 female, for about 8 months now. Jude has recently transferred positions within his company again and is back in our city for the majority of the time. We didn't end on bad terms at all, so we're still friends. My girlfriend always said she was fine with that. After a group outing with him, my girlfriend and some other friends, she asked why I call him something different than everyone else. This has since turned into a multi-day argument where she claims that calling him by his first name when no one else does is, quote, too intimate. She said it's a relationship thing and that I need to start treating him like a friend. I said she's being absolutely ridiculous and unbelievably insecure. It's his name, not a term of endearment. Am I the a-hole? Let me know your thoughts, but let's see what Reddit is saying. Someone commented and said, I'm going with not the a-hole. If he wanted you to call him Jude, I could understand it. Your girlfriend doesn't have the right to dictate how you identify someone else. It's how you have always known him. OP responded to that and said exactly if it had come from him, it would make sense. Coming from her, it just seems like a very bizarre thing to focus on. Next comment. You're putting your ex before any possible romantic relationship. You are saying at the start of your relationship, I choose this person's friendship over you. She knows deep down that he means more to you than she does. Maybe she could handle that when he was far away, but now that he is back and she has to watch it right in front of her face, knowing that no relationship is going to last if you put your ex above your partner. Very conflicting comments here. OP wrote back to that and said, that's fair. I appreciate your comment. It's something I will think about. It's just important to me to note that this was not just an ex. This was my best friend for 8 years, but also an ex. Sorry. So sorry. I get it. We have an update and it came 6 days later. It is now March 10th. My girlfriend and I sat down for a long conversation a few days ago. I went into it knowing that separation was the right choice here. Still, I wanted us to have a real talk about our feelings, so I tried to open up the floor for a discussion about what was really bothering her beyond the name issue. She continually insisted it truly was only about that. It ended in her giving an ultimatum and me breaking things off. Some of the comments on my other posts led me to do a lot of thinking. I was with Jude from the time I was 19 until I was 27. I spent almost all of my 20s with him. I'm now just a few months shy of 30, and the next decade of my life has been on my mind. I don't know if I'll get to spend it with who I want to, but I know being alone is better than spending it with the wrong person. I'm going to be taking some time for myself. I have never been a relationship hopper, and I think it's important that people in my life know that they're more important than that. Interesting. I feel like maybe he still has feelings for Jude. Anyone picking up on that? Especially now, they broke up because he had a traveling job, but now he has a new position. He's back in your city around all the time, not traveling. Maybe your heart and mind is like, could we get back together? Could this work out now? Because you guys were still in love with each other when you split. It was the location thing that was the problem. I think I'm right, but let me know what you think. We have more stories, but you know the drill. We gotta drink some water first. It's hydration station. Drink your water. Cheers. The rain is coming down so hard on our awning over here that you guys might sound like you're in a rain bath. It's really loud. I don't know if my mic will pick it up, but if you hear it, you're welcome. It's a little ASMR. Major public service announcement, okay? If you see me over the next few weeks wearing a ring that is not my engagement ring or not wearing a ring at all on that finger, it's because my ring is at the jeweler for sizing. I hadn't been back to Windsor since I got engaged, so I had to drop it off at the jeweler before my trip to Arizona. Anyways, it's there. It might be there for 3 to 4 weeks, they said. So that's the reason. Let's not panic, all right? And I just keep putting a ring on this finger, like a random cheap ring of my own. I don't know. Because I like to have something there so it feels like I'm engaged. So this is the one I'm wearing today. But if I don't have a ring on or it's something different, that's why. No panicking. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my boyfriend not to come over anymore if he doesn't move in with me? This story came March 26, 2026. There's a lot of drama in 2026. These stories are fresh. Throwaway account because I don't want my boyfriend finding this. Fair. Me, a 19-year-old female, and my boyfriend, a 19-year-old male, have been together for almost 2 years. For context, I moved into my one-bedroom apartment about 6 months ago. I live alone, I pay all my bills alone, and I buy my own groceries. My boyfriend comes over every single day, and I'm not just saying that. He literally is there every day. I get home from work, and by the time I'm out of the shower, he is at the apartment. I didn't really mind at first because I was excited that he was seeing me every day, because before that, he told me he didn't want to spend a lot of time with me and it was too overwhelming to him. So I was excited and happy that he wanted to be with me. My love language is quality time. Well, fast forward, I've noticed an increase in my bills. Just last month, my utility bill increased by $70. Whether this was me or him, I'm not totally sure, but he's been there even when I'm not there. He's taken showers, watched TV, I'm not a huge TV person, and he will leave the lights on. Not to mention, he uses the restroom all the time, sometimes 3 times. Thanks for the information. So there's that. And then I'm running out of groceries faster than I would usually like to. I buy groceries just enough for me every 2 weeks, which is my pay schedule. I buy a pack of Coca-Cola, 12, and that should last me an entire month as I don't drink a lot of soda. But what do you know? I'm running out of it in 2 weeks. Why? Well, an example of him drinking all my sodas would be when we were watching TV, he ordered us a pizza, and while we were eating, he offered to grab me a drink, and I just told him to grab me a water, and he grabbed himself a soda, which I didn't mind since I said I don't drink them often. He drinks the first soda, then he gets up and he grabs a second. He comes back to the table and drinks the second one. I was visibly annoyed, but I didn't say anything. He then gets up again and walks to the fridge to grab a third. That's wild. I quickly interrupted him and I said, nope, no. If you are very thirsty, you can have water. You are not drinking all of the sodas that I just bought. To which he responds, what are you, my mom? It's not my man. I don't need to be offended.
I need to calm down.
And I respond, no, but I'm your girlfriend and you didn't buy those. I did. When I want a soda, I want to be able to drink one. And he came back to sit down. He was mad. I know this because he does the whole thing where he clenches his jaw and he doesn't speak to me for a while. After that, I had the realization that he really is just living here without sleeping here. He's eating and drinking all of my food and using my utilities. So I thought carefully of what I wanted to say and I got the right wording together. When he came over the next day, I brought up the conversation of, why don't you move in with me? And he just said, no, I don't want to. And I was like, but why? You basically live here without sleeping here. You are here every day and you are using all of my things. I know I shouldn't have snapped like that, but that just completely threw me off. His reasoning started with, I want to finish school, which I would completely understand if he was in school, but he's not. Okay, so he's talking about finishing school and he hasn't even started. He missed the deadline to sign up for classes, so he's not enrolled right now. Oh, but he plans on enrolling, I guess. Which I reminded him of. His next reason was, I don't want to live in an apartment, I want to live in a house. So I then said, we are 19, we aren't established yet, and we don't have money put back for a house. You have to be realistic. We can eventually get a house, but an apartment is a part of that step. And then he responded with, I just don't want to move out. I like having no responsibilities. This was finally the real answer. I told him since he didn't want to move out and help me, then he can't come over every day and we'll have to hang out at his house more often. It has been a week since this conversation and he is still coming over every day and I don't know what to do. I love his company, but I can't afford it. I still can't wrap my head around his answer and I'm trying to respect it, but part of me wonders if it was someone else, would he want to live with them? Would he support them? Or does he just not see a future with me? I'm not sure what to do. Any advice is appreciated. Edit. He also has no responsibilities. His mom pays for his car and gas and clothes. I'm taking everyone's comments into consideration and it is opening my eyes a lot. I'm going to try to have the conversation again tonight and I will update you when we talk. Let's see what the comments are saying. Someone commented, and we have point form. Number 1, you must have given him a key. 2, he didn't offer to buy more soda even after buying the pizza? Or are you just leaving that part out? Oh yeah, because if he did buy the pizza, he might be trying to justify it. Number 3, before all this, you made no efforts to want to hang out at his place. Next, do you two not even go grocery shopping together so that this doesn't happen in the first place? Or are you two only hanging out at home type couple? Next, did you tell him you were poor? It's okay to be, just be upfront and honest with him. And lastly, he clearly has responsibilities, right? Unless he lives with his parents. But even then, usually there are still responsibilities. She already cleared that up in the edit. You are the a-hole. You didn't address this well. And like you said, you snapped instead of talking it through. Then you just kept asking questions instead of voicing your mind. Why pry and try to understand him when you haven't said your piece in full for him to understand you? Interesting. She responded to this comment and all those points. Number 1, yes, he has a key. When I made a copy of mine, he came with me and suggested he should have one too in case of an emergency. 2, no, he didn't offer to pay for the sodas. He never offers to help. I actually had to pay for half of the pizza. Number 3, I do offer to hang out at his house and he just says, I don't want to be there. I don't want to lay in bed, but comes over and does the same thing at my place. Number 4, no, we don't grocery shop together. Even if he did, he would not buy anything. 5, yes, I've told him multiple times I'm limited on money and I'm struggling. He waved his money in my face, which honestly made it feel worse. And number 6, no responsibility, literally none. He will put gas in his car and then call his mom and let her know how much he put in, and she will send the money back to his account. She also pays for the car. Y'all are in very different places in life. Next comment, he told you he didn't want to see you every day because spending a lot of time with you was overwhelming for him, and you still co-toned to date him? Why are you shocked that he's treating you like he's at his mom's house, rent-free with all the perks of a home? Yikes. OP responded and said, yeah, he said that and I just stopped asking him to hang out, and now that I have my own place, he's there every day, which is insane. I mentioned it to him in our conversation. I said, remember when you said hanging out with me was overwhelming? And he just shrugged it off. I guess I have no self-respect. Well, girl, you gotta get yourself some. Okay? Okay. We have an update, and it came the next day. I have a feeling this is gonna end with a breakup, and I honestly think it should, unless there's gonna be some changes. So we talked. This also just happened, so I'm mentally drained, so I'm sorry if this update isn't the best. I took his key, like many of you suggested. I told him until he learns to call me and ask if he can come over, he cannot have the key. I also added with that, the key is only to be used for emergencies, and I don't feel like he should have it. He then agreed to this and also went on to explain that it feels like we are in two different mindsets. Me having an apartment, steady income and responsibilities, and him living at home, no bills, etc. He then started to put the fault on me, saying it was too expensive and I shouldn't have moved out, but I didn't have a choice to move out. It was forced upon me. We argued back and forth about that for a while. He suggested I budget my money, but I literally don't spend anything other than what I need. I have an interview for a second job tomorrow, so I can start being able to afford the things I want. That's besides the point. It was dumb and it felt like deflection on his end. We fought back and forth some more, and then it eventually ended with me saying he is a child who doesn't want to grow up right now, and I don't want that around me forever. I don't know if we're broken up or what is really happening. I assume I will know more about that tomorrow. However, we have no other update. We do have some comments though, so I'm curious to see what people are saying after that. All that information. Someone commented and said, oh boy, I think you know what's happening or what should happen. He did everything but own up to leeching off of you. He doesn't care about you. He only cares about himself, and he is clearly very selfish and immature. It's hard, I know, but cut your losses and don't look back. A grown-up guy is out there who will respect you and love that you can take care of yourself financially at your age. You have a level of maturity I didn't have at your age, so don't waste it on a man-child. Been there, and they never grow out of it if someone is there letting them get away with it. Next comment. You've done good for yourself. Now, if he refuses to take the next step into adulthood, you can kick him to the curb. He wants a bang made with zero responsibility. He's still acting like a teenager. I know a 42-year-old man who will never grow out of being a teenager. Good luck. This is interesting because I moved out when I was 17 years old, and I did have a boyfriend, and it was very much like that of he wasn't with me every day, but it was like we were in very different places. I was living on my own. I had all the responsibility on my plate, growing up fast, no money at all, obviously taking care of myself, and my boyfriend lived at home, and the car was paid for by his parents, yada, yada, yada. So we were just in very different places in life, and there were a lot of differences, and it clearly did not work out. I think it lasted like 6 months. Damn! I'm gonna be very quiet. Do you guys hear the rain? It's literally a storm. Anyways, all right, my time to go. Let me know your thoughts. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. I'll see you tomorrow.